Good with it, Black Goose family. Turn down the tunes a little bit, make sure it's not too loud. What's good with it though? Once again, hopefully y'all hear me. Happy Thursday, everybody. We're going into the weekend. Friday's tomorrow, so hopefully you guys been enjoying your weekend. Like always, let me get my shit right first. Y'all go ahead, rock with me. It's fight week. Let me get my shit right first, alright? Hopefully everybody, you know what I'm saying, y'all shit going good, you feel me? Your Thursday going right. Give me a little minute, my shit loading up a little bit slow over here, so, because I want to make sure the sound's straight. It's just, alright. If y'all in here, go ahead and drop me a like, I appreciate that. Subscribe, you know, it helps get out there. So, let me make sure everything is good, y'all. Just give me a minute.
Show you how I can really love. Yeah. I wanna show you I just really wanna fall. Yeah. No season. You never see what you see. So let me tell you the way that I love.
Alright, yeah, man, that sounds good, man. Let me go ahead and turn down the music a little bit. We can have it about right there, you know what I'm saying? Keep it in the background. We're gonna keep things slow. If y'all see what I got on deck right now, shout out to this YouTube channel, Boxer. He got the full fight, Williams versus Michael Madonna. I'm not gonna show it all, but you see what we're talking about. We're talking about Julian J. Rock Williams. Obviously over here, let me go and restart this right here. We're talking about Rosario. I'm gonna make sure I say that right. This is coming from Roberto Vince's subscriber channel. This is gonna be a great fight. I cannot wait for it. If y'all want to personally ask me, I forgot about it. Me personally, I thought it was a little bit under promoted. I honestly did think so. I thought it could have got a little bit more promotion, but I understand why it happened because if you guys look also in the title, it's also talking about the fact that Jarret Hurd was originally supposed to fight Julian Williams, and that did not happen. So I think because that ended up happening, you know, the promotion may have got a little. This fight's not getting what it deserves, in my opinion. So that's just what I think. But I'm still excited for it. I'm gonna let a little bit of time happen. As always, I'm not gonna get right into everything that we're talking about. But so you guys know, Julian Williams versus Rosario fight week video. We also gonna talk about Jarret Hurd and his split with his last trainer. I reported on it. I told you guys the news. I never gave you an in-depth reason at what happened. I got a couple videos up that we can basically dive a little bit deeper into what happened. There's two sides to every story. There was a press conference from Jarret Hurd. He spoke on it. If you didn't hear the actual interview he was speaking on, I got that ready for us, so we're gonna check that out as well. So hopefully y'all enjoying y'all Thursday. Shout out to everybody in the chat room right now. Once again, if y'all ain't here, throw a like, you know what I'm saying, throw a subscribe, whatever it may be. But we got Julian Williams, Rosario. This is happening Saturday. The undercard. Let's check out the undercard. How about we do that? Alright, so the non-televised undercard you can see there Kyron Davis, he's actually solid. I've seen him fight before, but he's gonna have a tough task against Paul Crow. He undefeated. You see Marcel Rivers is on the card versus Ricky Lopez. What's the co-main event? That's what I want to know. Co-main event: Chris Primetime Colbert versus Hezriel Corrales for the interim WBA super featherweight. But we're gonna chill out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully everybody's enjoying their day, enjoying their Thursday, everything is solid. I'm chilling over here. I ain't done a fight week video in a minute, to be real with you. But I feel like it was only right we go back to it, you know what I'm saying? Especially how slow boxing gets when it becomes to the beginning of the year, you know? Not really too much happens when it comes to January. Obviously, we got this fight happening. We got the Danny Garcia fight happening as well. But really, nothing's really going to start rocking really until late February, early March. But we got to enjoy it. But in reality, once again, we were supposed to get Julian Williams versus Jarret Hurd. But Jarret Hurd did not fight Julian Williams. He pulled himself out of it. A lot of people thought he was going to move up and wait. Actually, because his next fight is actually up in weight. He's fighting at 160, but he said he's going to stay at 154. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about why he ended up getting out of the fight, what the situation was at, him and his trainer. We're going, you know, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, man. So just rock with me. Ride with me. I don't really care. We keeping it boxing, though. Remember that. And if y'all in the chat, appreciate y'all. Go ahead, throw y'all opinion. Have y'all feeling about any of this, you know what I'm saying? But we probably gonna get started at 9:45. Got about 5 minutes, so you know what I'm saying? Just chill out a little bit and just enjoy some of the things I'm throwing up here, you know what I'm saying? So we got about start about 4 or 5 minutes, you know what I'm saying? Probably one of the best fights I ever seen. Well, I won't say I ever seen, but probably one of the best fights of 2019 was Julian Williams beating Jarret Hurd, man. I gotta say that myself, man. That was an impressive performance. Jarret Hurd was one of my favorite boxers, still is, but you know, the way he was able to outbox Jarret Hurd literally in every aspect of boxing was incredible. Especially being able to rebound, you know what I'm saying? Obviously he didn't fight Jamal right before that, but still, you know, if you guys remember, his one loss is that brutal uppercut that he took from Charlo, you know what I'm saying? And you know, shout out to J-Rock. I think this is gonna be a dog fight. So I am actually excited for this particular fight, you know what I'm saying? I'm not necessarily excited for the card in whole, but this particular fight I definitely am excited for. But got 2 minutes. We're gonna start this at 9:42. What's up, everybody rocking, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, throw a like, whatever it may be, throw a subscribe. We're gonna dive into this. We got 1 minute countdown, you heard me? We're gonna get it right. We're gonna talk boxing, man. We got 2 days till this fight start, so you know what I'm saying? It's close, can't wait. Cause it's been slow when it comes to the combat world. Alright, let's go ahead and rock with it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and start a minute earlier, man. I just wanna go ahead and jump into this. So we're gonna start off with this first and foremost, you know what I'm saying? Julian J. Rock, what I do with the fight weeks, we're gonna start off with the fight week, then we're gonna get into Jarret Hurd and what's going on with his trainer a little bit later in the video. So if you rock with me till then, appreciate it. If not, thank you just for being in here. But I'm gonna go ahead and get into this. So What we do with the fight weeks is nothing over the top. We don't do nothing special. We keep it real simple. All we do is we, you know what I'm saying, look at whatever the fighter's social media is, and we just see how they look at, you know what I'm saying. We seeing if they looking ready, you know what I'm saying, peak shape, whatever promotion they got going out there. Me personally, I've already said this if y'all jumped in at the beginning of the stream. I feel like this fight was under promoted, but at the same time, I understand because you have to think of it from PBC standpoint. They thought it was supposed to be J-Rock versus Jarret Hurd too. So, you know what I'm saying, with them getting replacement, I still feel like it's gonna be a solid fight. The card's gonna be cool. You know what I'm saying? Rosario, he's actually a very good opponent. He only has one loss on his resume. He has great power, man. But let's go ahead and check out some of the things that, you know what I'm saying, J-Rock got posted on his Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what he's talking about. You see here with the caption, to-do list win, Saturday 8th. I'm not gonna play too much of it right here.
For me to fight in Philadelphia, to come back as a unified champion means everything. It's a step fighters dream about, not just me.
And Philly too.
All
That's dope.
fighters, at least they should dream about being a world champion, coming back and bringing a title fight to their hometown. Man, I love the city. I'm in love with Philadelphia.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. That's next week. We're gonna go live for the Cowboy Conor fight.
There's been champions before me, there's gonna be champions after me. So I'm not gonna say breathe new life, because there's always life in the Philadelphia boxing community. It's so rich here. You know what I mean? Before my run, Danny Garcia had his...
So I'm like, Julian Williams, man, in my opinion, his story is inspiring to me, man. Cause I'm like, if y'all saw that loss he had to Charlo, man, that was crazy. Since they want to sneak diss my folks, I traded all my Gucci for Dolce & Gabbana. I don't forget nothing. January 18th, live on PBC on Fox. Irish Center tickets still on sale. Shout out to everyone that purchased tickets. Okay, I might be off with the date then. I was thinking the fight was this week. It's gonna be next week. But still, early fight week video. It's all good because we still gonna get into the beef between Jarret Hurd and his trainer. You don't even really gotta call it beef. It's more so a disagreement. So we're gonna talk about that too. So it's an early fight week video with Julian Williams versus Peter Rosario. You feel me? So. Excuse me, Hezan Rosario. I said Peter. I was thinking somebody else. So I'm excited for this fight. I'm not as excited as seeing him versus Jarret Hurd, but I still feel like this is going to be a good testament to actually how Julian Williams will hold his own holding the belt. Because I think Rosario, man, with the power that he has, it's not necessarily on Charlo's level, but I think if Julian Williams somehow does get himself caught out of position, similar to that uppercut, he can pop, you know what I'm saying, it can be bad news for him. But at the same time, I do think Julian Williams has a chin, because I'm not saying that he doesn't have a chin, because Charlo just got amazing power, especially when he was at that weight at the time. Remember, he moved up, he's at 160 now, so it's like Williams, in my opinion, what he did when I was watching that Jarret Hurd fight was he did not only show that he can outbox you outside, inside, use the jab, use his feet, but then what he also showed was that he had a chin, because what he showed when he was on the inside with Jarret Hurd, when Jarret Hurd was throwing the punches that usually get his opponent to get on his back foot, back him up to the ropes, Jarret Hurd's known for taking shots back, but usually because he's usually so much bigger and the power that he puts behind a lot of his hooks to the bodies and things like that, it pushes his opponent back, and that puts him in a position where even if your opponent returns, you can't get as much power if you're throwing off your back foot and you going straight line to the back too. So the fact that not only Julian Williams was able to hold his ground, but he was able to push her back, it showed that he does have a chin, you know what I'm saying? It showed Charlo does have probably the most knockout power. Jamal, of course, most knockout power when he was at that weight division. He's now at 160, so it makes sense, because he was the bigger guy. But I'm like, he's looking ready, man. Of course. This one, it may be, I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be better than the Conor fight, just because I feel like the Cowboy Conor fight, it has the card in general is just better than this one. If you want to just go main event for main event, me personally, I don't know. I'm probably gonna go for the Conor card. The Conor versus Cowboy fight. If it was Julian Williams versus Jarret Hurd, then I say Julian Williams versus Jarret Hurd. I don't know about against Rosario though, personally. But yeah, y'all see, you know what I'm saying? He looking ready, he looking ill, you know. It's the fight week video. It's nothing extra. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I don't dive too much into stuff like when we do the We Talking Numbers videos and things like this. This is more so like, you know, not much factual based. We more so just kind of like talking, opinion type shit. What y'all think about the fight? What y'all think is gonna happen? Shit like that. But here's Rosario. You know what I'm saying? If y'all never heard of him, y'all don't know nothing he looks like.
Después de un guante duro, vamos a estar campeón.
You can tell though he's strong, man. That bass, man. Look at his bass, man. Those are powerful. And he's not even putting nothing behind it. So he got power, like I said. You can just hear it when he hitting the pads, man. There's no power being put behind it. This is a conditioning drill right here. Ooh, you see the uppercut? You know why he's throwing that uppercut, right? That's what Charlo hit him with. If y'all know anything, that's what Charlo hit him with. Hey, you might not be wrong though a little bit, Chandler, because now that I'm looking at this right here, man, I'm like, this is gonna be a good fight, man. This is gonna be a test right now. He was looking good right there, man. I'm gonna play it one more time, man. Just because, look at the power. There's a lot of power coming behind that, but he's not throwing no power. It's conditioning. Now, watch when he throw the uppercut. He'll come out and he'll throw the uppercut. That's the same uppercut Charlo hit him with, right off the jab. Sometimes you leave that jab out. That's the same way Badu Jack got knocked out. Kind of linger that jab out, but you don't bring it right back. And you can see he's working on the uppercut. The uppercut's in every other combination. He's working body, coming back up to the head. Then boom, that uppercut. There it was, right off that. When somebody's trying to keep you off of that jab, you gotta let right up. And Julian Williams uses his jab hand a lot that way too, where he'll use it as a distance range, and he'll use it to kind of keep you off, use his legs, keep you on the outside. But he'll fight on the inside too, man. It's gonna be a good fight, man. Yeah, see, this is why I do this. Honestly, I do this for myself, cause sometimes I be wanting to be hyped for fights, and I don't be that hyped. But then I'm like, I just be going to the social medias, I be seeing what they posted, and I get more hype. I'm like, man, this is gonna be a good fight, man. You already see the picture I'm about to go to. You already see that. You already see he got Andrade in his camp, boy. What that mean, though? What that mean, though? Yeah, there's definitely not as much hype for this fight, but it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? They wanted Jarret Hurd too. We're gonna talk about that. I keep going to that. You know what I'm saying? Yo, that's all I see when it comes to. We don't go live on that. We might, maybe after this, maybe we can go live on that shit. Talk about the Conor Cowboy fight possibly, because I'm like, I agree. That's all the comments I see when it comes to that Conor interview. They just be like, he's back to his old self, but I feel you. Probably like visually, like more people, like I'm more hyped for the Conor Cowboy fight, but you probably right. Visually watching the fight, this is probably gonna be a better fight, man. Cause I'm like, look at that camp. He in there with Demetrius on drives, like, bruh. Come on, man. But I might be overselling the fight myself. I'm like, anybody in there with Demetrius on Andrade, bro, can't say nothing, man. One thing I want to talk about too, real quick, is this particular mitt work he was doing, because this just hit me in my head. I'm like, he's working with Demetrius on Andrade, right? This may be the first time he's worked with Demetrius on Andrade. I don't know, but one thing Andrade is great at is creating angles, right? Creating angles off punches, off slips. especially for his size. One thing about Rosario, if you look at his former fights, one of his problems was he didn't create enough angles. He had the power, but he didn't necessarily create the angles to necessarily finish them with the power. You feel me? Even though, and he has one loss. So this drill, is this going to be a new wrinkle in his game? Is he going to be using angles off of Julian Williams? Which, how would Julian Williams react to that? Because Jarret Hurd, he's a straight fighter. He's a straight up and down fighter, right? What I mean by that, he goes in straight lines, and that's usually what you're taught in boxing, straight lines. Forward, back, left, right. Like, that's it. You know what I'm saying? But then you have to, you know, some of the fighters who actually create angles, and a lot of the Cuban fighters do that. Usyk does that. Lomachenko does that. Tyson Fury, in a sense, does that, where it'll throw off people's rhythm when you're just a straight, I'm going forward, I'm going back, I'm going left, I'm going right. So this drill, I know I'm showing it again, but when he's coming off the angle, you see when he dives in, he's coming, and he's, I know it's a pivot, it's a simple pivot, but it's something in Rosario's game right there that he never really utilized like that. He was more so of a straight up and down guy. And if you're sparring with someone like Andrade and you're working with Andrade, you have to get used to angles, because Andrade comes at. But we'll see. You know what I'm saying? You know how they say everybody look good on the mitts. Can you actually do this shit? I think it's gonna be a good fight. Let's see this clip. Show y'all one more clip here, man. In case y'all ain't seen Rosario. I am spending a little bit more time on Rosario, but I feel like you guys, most boxing heads know who Julian Williams is. I'll go back. My bad.
Puños enguantados, Tequila Boxing y Manguita Boxing presentan el gran combate para Rosario de Dominicana versus el Topo Rodríguez de Venezuela. Este 30 de noviembre en el Hotel Dominican Fiesta. Choque de colosos, round por round. Este 30 de noviembre en el Hotel Dominican Fiesta. Boletos solamente en Ticket Express.
Yeah, you're probably right. This probably gonna be a better fight. If y'all in the chat though, appreciate y'all being in the chat. Remember, we talk boxing, only talking boxing. Go ahead, throw a like. Go ahead, subscribe, whatever it may be. Either way it may be. I'm excited for this fight. One more clip for Rosario. Rosario. Now see, this is usually, you see the bag work right here? That's the usual. If you look at his last fights, that's what you're used to. You know what I'm saying? He finishes combinations and he stays in front of the bag. Where in the mid work, his trainer was having him after a combination use his pivot to create an angle and turn off the bag, maybe avoid jab, right hand, hook, whatever counter it may be. If you can go off that center line of work, a counter punch may be, you can avoid, getting hit more so. At the same time, you don't know what he's working and you don't know what that drill is, so I can't necessarily say much. You know what I'm saying? He might just be working power. He might just be working conditioning. He might not be working technique. You feel me? So all right, that's what we got there. Let me see if I can give y'all one more video on J-Rock, because I feel like I was talking a lot about Rosario more so than I was J-Rock. But I just feel like because this was under promoted, I feel like a lot of people may not know who his opponent is, and so I want you guys to know, man, he's a very a solid opponent. I think it's gonna be a good fight, better fight than what you most. I think it's gonna test Julian for his first title defense. It's gonna definitely test him. I can see I'm not logged in, and I'm just straight on the bullshit. All right, so Julian ain't out here really posting nothing like that. All right, so I'll show y'all this. How about I show y'all this? This is a 2016 media workout. This is posted on Abrams Boxing. I'm only gonna show you a little bit of it. Just in case y'all don't know much about Julian or J-Rock. I put J-Rock in that same category as Tony Harrison, believe it or not. But the thing about J-Rock is J-Rock, he doesn't open himself up for many mistakes. Like Tony Harrison, he's the type of guy where he will get in that mode where he starts feeling himself too much and he'll open him up for his mistake. And I feel like when you at the top of the game, when you at the top of the level, and you do things like that, that's how you end up. You seen the last fight against, Jamel, what happened. So, there's that. When it comes to J-Rock, I don't think J-Rock's like that. I think J-Rock, he doesn't, man, it's going to be a hell of a fight. This is gonna be a hell of a fight. So that's probably the last little bit I'm gonna do. He a natural brawler. Who? Is who a natural brawler? Rosario. He's a natural brawler, definitely. In a sense, I would say. But he's a solid fighter. But he's a solid boxer because of his background. Like, he has great boxing ability. But the thing about Rosario that I feel like J-Rock can utilize against him is the fact that if you look at all his previous fights, he's a very straightforward. He'll come straight at you. So a guy like J-Rock, who uses his leg, you know what I'm saying? He got that Philly shell, Philly style. And a lot of Philly guys, man, they know how to they know how to use the ring against you. They know how to manipulate you. You know what I'm saying? You start chasing forward, and they might use an angle. Not necessarily an angle like Lomachenko, but necessarily just may switch which ways. They're directional. The way they move with their feet is beautiful. So I feel like when you're more of a straightforward guy, I wish I could show it more so because it's easier to show it than explain it. Like when you watch someone working a heavy bag, when you see someone work a heavy bag 1, 1, 2, 3, and then they'll maybe either pivot off of that. Maybe if it's a shorter heavy bag, they'll maybe move under. Maybe off of that, they'll start they'll do the side step. That's the type of fighter Julian Williams is. When I was showing Rosario, he's more of a 1, 2, 3, 3, and then he'll stay right in front, and then maybe take a step back, maybe to get slightly out of range, and then return with the counter punch. And then maybe he'll take a step in, and then maybe would come with an uppercut, with a hook. But he's right there. Then maybe take a step to the left. A guy like Williams, he's very good at manipulating a fighter like that because he has so many different avenues of getting in his bag, and that's because he is that Philly. You know what I'm saying? Philly dudes, man, the way they box, they most of them have so many different ways of utilizing the ring against you, and J-Rock is one of them perfect examples. Tony, you know what I'm saying? Detroit guys, they're more of a a lot of people try to say Floyd Rand, but I'm getting to a Rand. I'm not gonna go overboard with it, but anyways, you know what I'm saying? That's the fight week. Yeah, so that's the fight week. Julian Williams, Rosario, that's happening next week. If y'all jumped in at the beginning of this chat, I was wrong. I thought it was happening this weekend. I could have swore it was this weekend. Either way, it's happening next week, man. Let me make sure I'm 100% correct. Because I'm talking all this. Yeah, okay. January 18th. So it's happening next week. That's the same time. That's the same date as the Conor Cowboy card. So we're gonna go live for both of those fights. We don't have nothing happening in boxing this weekend. Another weekend with no boxing, but y'all know I'm still talking about it. So the second half of this live stream, we're gonna be talking about this right here. This man right here. This guy, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. He's one of my favorite boxers. That's obviously why I'm talking about it. But we're also talking about it because Julian Williams versus Jarret Hurd 2 was supposed to happen. I was excited in the motherfucker for the fight. But Jarret Hurd, you know what I'm saying? If y'all was following it, he said, nah, I'm good. I'm going to go ahead and move up and wait for 160. I'm going to fight Francisco. Everybody's like, man, why you do that? There's all types of speculation. There's a lot of speculation, actually. Everybody in the chat, though, before I get into that, I'm going to take a little 3-minute break. No, it's not going to be 3 minutes. It's going to be like 1 minute, but that's what we're going to do for part 2 of this stream. We're going to get into it. So everybody rocking with me, I appreciate y'all. If y'all interested in hearing about the beef between Jarret Hurd and his trainer, if that's what y'all want to call it, not really with beef, more of a disagreement, y'all stay tuned for that. I'm going to be right back. Probably like 2 minutes. Remember, keeping it boxing in here, man. We keeping it respectful. What's that, y'all? So y'all already know what it is. All right, so I appreciate y'all rocking with me. I appreciate y'all being up in here. You know what I'm saying? We just enjoying myself enjoying this Thursday. This is what I like doing right here. This is how I relieve my stress. I talk boxing, man. Sounds crazy, right? So if y'all up in here, I appreciate that. Go ahead, throw a like if y'all in here, subscribe, whatever it may be. It means a lot. But what we about to get into, we are getting into Jarret Hurd, his trainer, what's been going on between those two, what's the actual story. Now, I don't have everything, but I did my best to pull up whatever I can that might possibly give us a better understanding of why Jarret Hurd decided to take this fight at 160, pull out of the Julian Williams rematch, and he's already stated that he will want to fight for that belt again. He said he wants to be a champion at 154 again. If you guys need a source for that, it's right here. It's from BoxingScene.com. This is recent. This is December 27, 2019. I will stay at 154 pounds, fight for my titles again. So this 160 fight against Francisco Santana is just for this one fight. Then he's moving back down. I guess it's maybe to get comfortable with the new team that he is with. Now, I'm pulling up this from Fight Hype. Obviously, it's going to be a short clip because as always, this is different from the fight week. This could have possibly been two different streams, so that's why I did the break, because if y'all want to ride with this, y'all can. Because it's going to be similar to, we talking numbers. I'm not necessarily pulling up numbers, but when I'm pulling up is anything that's going to be able to give you guys a clearer understanding of what I'm talking about. And as always, they say there's two sides to every story, so I'm going to pull up both sides from the trainer, from Jarret Hurd himself. You guys, I think, let's get into it. So this is what he said.
She hit me up and told me that, did you check out this interview on social media? And I was like, nah, man, what you talking about? She was in flames. And I went on social media to check out the interview, man. It was my coach. He was bad-mouthing me, man. So he got to talking about certain things about, the lifestyle I'm living and the substances I put into my body. The weight loss and things I gained in between weights. He just basically went on the media, talked about all these things about me that I was not aware of. And I'm the type of guy that when you family, if it is things like that you feel about me, you bring that stuff to me,
So I'm gonna stop it right there. So obviously this isn't the whole entire speech that Jarret Hurd gave on what happened between him and his trainer. If you guys want to hear the whole thing, like I said, I'm on Fight Hype. You guys go check that out. But that gives you a good idea of what he felt like the problem was and why he felt like he left his trainer, Ernesto. He felt like what he said on his interview, apparently it hurt him in a way. It made him say that he was bad-mouthing him. It had to do with his cut. It had to do whatever he may have been taking from his standpoint. I have that interview up. We're going to take a look at it and we're going to see what he said for himself. So it hurt him, and he probably felt like he should have went to him and told him that before actually he said it in an interview. But, excuse me, to play devil's advocate, earlier in this clip, he said himself there may have been a possibility he overlooked J-Rock. And the reason he said he may have possibly overlooked J-Rock was because he felt like, well, let me say this, not he felt like, but his team was already envisioning what was going to happen in the future. So maybe the trainer after this loss could have possibly felt like, if I tell you the things that I'm saying right now, you're not going to accept it the way you should, because maybe you just believe it was an off night for you. And that's just devil's advocate. I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there in the air. So that was Hurd's statement. So this is the interview he was talking about right here. This is with Laugh at First Sight channel. I'm not gonna play the whole thing. I just want to play a little bit of it so you guys can decipher for yourself if you feel like maybe either he was bad-mouthing him. Do you feel like Jarret Hurd should have felt the way he felt about it? Or do you maybe feel like this was something this coach should have kept to himself and instead, rather than speaking about on an interview, told Hurd first and then maybe afterwards, then he can say something publicly about it. You never know. But so let's go ahead and I'm gonna play this short clip, man.
What happened that night? Did Williams perform better than you guys expected?
No, he didn't expect any better than I expected. I expected the wins that I saw. Unfortunately, I think some of the things in Jarret's personal lifestyles came back to haunt him, and that's just the truth of it. I think he didn't expect the J-Rock that came, but I expected it. It was a fight that I wasn't in favor of from the beginning. I didn't want that fight, but he wanted that fight, so he got what he wanted. And unfortunately, Williams came in and he did his job and won the fight.
Why did you not want the fight?
Well, because it was a style, a clash of styles. In my opinion, business-wise, he could have got a bigger fight.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop it there. I don't want to play too much of it. Once again, appreciate y'all rocking with me. If y'all watching it, go ahead, throw a like. It means a lot. So obviously he could say there's another 4 minutes left in the video. If y'all want to watch the rest of the video, once again, go ahead and go to Laugh at First Sight. You guys can hear the rest, but if you hear the beginning, you can tell in his tone, me personally, what I read from it is he was very serious and he meant what he said, and it's hard for me to say that what he's saying is a lie in reference to he didn't want the fight. It sounded like Hurd was asking for this fight, or possibly maybe Hurd thought it was an easy fight for him. You guys got to remember, man, Hurd versus Charlo, man, they was trying to put that together, and if you were so pinpoint focused on that particular fight, you may think no one's at his level. So the same way he's at the time he was rolling through people, he's like, I can do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? I saw your brother beat him. I know I can. I'm gonna show you what my power like. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? When it comes to a sport like this, when you get to that level, you feel like you're the best. The competitive spirit is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? The pride is ridiculous. So it's like you can't fault Jarret Hurd for feeling like that. He should feel that way. That's why he's at the level he's at. But I will say this. From the beginning of this interview, I can already tell he's gonna say some things. I'm not gonna say if it's gonna be hurtful, but I think it's gonna be some things that's gonna be revealing, or maybe that he felt like he should have kept inside the camp. Because already, if he's talking about, I feel like his lifestyle caught up to him, man, that's a very blanket statement. Someone who's not a fan of Jarret Hurd, they can throw all types of shit into that. So I can understand if Jarret Hurd feel away, because you don't want somebody who's basically a guy who's been with you from the beginning, which he has. He says it in this interview, in this interview here, that he's been there with him from the beginning, from day one. And for you to throw out his personal life like that, and have people be able to make assumptions that will hurt his brand, because he's a brand now, he makes money off of who he is. I do think that's wrong. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't feel it's wrong, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But me personally, I feel like that's wrong and you can't do that. But like I said before, if I'm playing devil's advocate, you could easily say, well, what if you feel like Jarret Hurd was at the point now where he was so pinpoint on getting that Charlo fight that anything you told him before this L he took, it wouldn't have resonated, and after, it still made him not resonate, and the only way to get his attention is you got to make it publicly known. I don't agree with that, but maybe he felt like that was the way to do it. I don't agree with that. I think you talked to him behind the scenes. I think you be real with him. So, you know what I'm saying? I understand if someone agrees with his coach. I understand if someone agrees with Hurd, but I think if this is your man, this is your dog, you can have a talk with him. I'm gonna play a little bit of this interview right here. This is from Shoot to 5 with Xavier Porter, his YouTube channel. This is a more recent interview. This interview happened about 7 to 8 months ago. This is about 3 months ago.
Y'all guys decided to split ways, split part ways?
Yeah, I mean, some things happened. I did an interview on YouTube where I spoke from the heart, and some people felt that he felt that it was should have been kept personal. But hey, man, I'm a man, and if I got something to say, I'm gonna say it. But I spoke from the heart in a respectful manner.
Yeah.
He made a decision, and we agreed, and everything's good.
I mean, you guys, even the fact that you spoke from the heart, it's not like you wouldn't tell him anyway how you feel, because you know him for damn near all his life.
There wasn't nothing that I said before.
Yeah.
I just reiterate what I've been saying the whole time.
Yeah. What was it about the J-Rock fight that you felt like, in a sense that...
Alright, so that's all I'm going to play from there. If y'all couldn't really hear it like that, he was basically saying they part ways because of an interview that he did on YouTube that we just watched, where he spoke from the heart. He said he a man, so he's not going to keep anything like that. Like there's no reason for him to close up and be like, nah, I don't know what's going on. Like, if I feel like that's something that needs to be said, I'm going to say that. And then the interviewer, he responded, he said, it's not like it's something you haven't already said to him. And he said, yeah, like I said to him multiple times. So that's a different perspective on that statement as well. If this is something you've been saying to him over time and he's been ignoring it, and you feel like the only way to get his attention if you do something like that, then you know what I'm saying, that's another perspective. Because if you look at the press conference that Jarret Hurd held here, he said he was never told about any of these things. You know what I'm saying? And if you think about what he said, there's a possibility another devil's advocate could say, okay, well, let's look at it from this point. Maybe he was told these things, he ignored it, he kept doing what he was doing, he was winning, and his coach, his trainer, who was with him from day one, said, you keep doing it, it's going to, buying you in the ass. You went against Williams, it didn't work. He finally says, yo, if you want to keep winning, I got to put this out there. If you want to stop it, he does it. And Jarret Hurd, to keep people on his side, he says this. This is all speculation. It's probably not even right. But I'm like, these are different avenues you can think of. So it's like, it's hard, since you don't necessarily know, it's hard to actually say what you feel, how you feel, what happened. But to me, I feel like this is a disagreement, in my opinion. I feel like this is something they could work out. But when there's so much money involved, man, at this point, they probably done. That relationship is probably done, because it's hard to say. But I really suggest y'all go watch the rest of this interview, because it's interesting. The things he talks about, the way he frames what he's saying, he doesn't necessarily put him out there, but it definitely leaves people to think Jarret Hurd wasn't doing everything capable for a long period of time, to be where he basically wants to be or says he should be. And I can understand from Hurd's perspective, like, why would you do that, bro? Like, don't put that out there. But if you've been telling this man over and over and he refuses to listen to you, still though, I feel like that's when you walk away. You still don't put that man's business out. That's fucked up. Yeah, no, I agree, man. I feel like shit like that you still keep under the bus, no matter what it is. Even if you feel like he doing this shit, just walk away from the situation. Just be like, I can't keep supporting it. I'm gonna walk away from the situation. But to say it in the interviews, like you talking about you a man and things like that, it's like, yeah, you is, but don't be a chatty patty, my nigga. But that's my personal opinion. A lot of people might disagree with that. So that's really the thing going on. But at the same time, I am excited for Jarret Hurd coming back to 154. January 25th. It's on the co-main event of the Danny Garcia versus Red Catch card. It's for the WBC welterweight title eliminator. So we're gonna see what he looks like at 160 for this particular fight. But then he's gonna go back to 154, and we're gonna see how he's looking. I'm not sure who his new team is, to be real with you. I don't necessarily know if he announced that, but yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure who his new team is, but yeah, man. So that's the video, man. We did the fight week. We did all the good stuff. I appreciate y'all rocking with me, man. If y'all ain't here before you get up out of here, go ahead, throw a like, throw a subscribe, whatever it may be. There's no fights happening this weekend, but next weekend we're going live for right here at the that load up. There we go. We're going live for this card right here, y'all. As always, and then we're gonna be going live for the McGregor versus Cowboy fight 2. So yeah, make sure y'all check us out. As always, throw a like, subscribe. It means a lot.